and on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Roberts and Sons Optical Services, seeing is believing. Thank you and good evening to all of over here. So it's been a very Jones grammar, and so we've been thinking about hair and what it really means and why we're so, should I say, torn about it. Social media, everyone is talking about it. You know, some people are for it, some people are against it, but obviously it matters enough with Achimota, but just general cutting of hair as a rule, and which is something that is done here in Ghana and some other Africa. Beautiful women joining me for that conversation. But before that, I'd like to say a happy birthday to Vida Malik of CBG. Human blessings for you, good health, and a fulfilling life. Happy birthday, boss. Also to Amma of UNICEF Ghana and ICGC Open Heaven. Tell you about my guests tonight. I'm really excited. They're all three guests I've never had on Strong and Sassy before. So, documentary producer. She's a TV and documentary producer. She's not Ghanaian. She's actually from Uganda. She's joining us tonight. And then me, Hilaria Dalu, who's the coordinator for One City for Change campaign. Hi, Neela. Hello from across the waters. Hey, Irene is also joining us on the phone lines as well. So that we're just going to speak has been hair. What do you think about everything that's been going on?
Or this topic, I mean, it's an amazing topic. I mean, it's like you said, it's a very hairy week.
Yeah.
Education that I've done. When we look at integration, education looks at integrating us as a community. We have several goals of education. The most important goal of education is to integrate us. So when you come from your home and I come from integrate and become one person. In other words, there's no Ashanti, there's no Ewe, there's no Upper Easting person, and then we come and meet as one person. The idea is so that we are able to create the links right from school. So when we go outside, one homogeneous society. That is the idea. And so I like the fact that you said it's the rule people side with or not. It's part of the rules. And so when you go to school and they say cut your hair, educationists have sat down, educationists got up just one day and decided, let's create this rule. Again, people have left, and I'm praying that follow rules or adhere to rules. It promotes integration. And the opposite of integration is segregation, which we all do not want to, because it puts us together. It brings us, it makes us as one. We don't see the differentiation. When I was in school, I had my very close friend was a Muslim. We would have been the best of friends out of school. We would still see the differences. But there was nothing like that. She was not in a hijab. We were all one. Parents have also kept quiet. Because when they institute, let's all braid our hair in Ghana here, oh Lord, it's parents she would cry the whole time. She literally, and so she'll get frustrated and then she'll cut the hair eventually. And then she'll start the rules. When we all, and then again, it's not even about the Achimota or the Rasta man issue. But generally, just follow it. Because if I think one way and you think another, if we all come out of school and then you think 1 + 1 is 3, I think 1 + 1 is 2, so that we're able to progress as a people.
Right.
Anymore.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. Okay, Hilaria. Let me say hello again to Renee. Hi, Neela. Are you there? Fighting against technology tonight, trying to connect on Zoom to Stone 05511119997 055. Hilaria, so let me just stay with you whilst we're trying to get Neela and Renee to join the conversation. Get to where we're going, because we're all doing the same thing. I think fundamentally one of the questions that have come up is girls, and I found myself asking this question so often this week. Going home, they're not in boarding school.
Okay.
And I wondered why. What's the women? They're going to have to at some point learn how to balance the whole of life and hair. Yes. How to manage that aspect of their life. Does it not make more sense to just have them?
I have the 1982 Act, Education Act. This is in keeping with that act, for example, because the act would call for integration. Again, I'm amazed that cutting of hair is part of that integration. You see, let's all come to school and have braid sandal.
Yeah, brown or black.
Brown or black. It was always the standard. And so your parents would go, you would get, the school uniform was given to you, the shoes you would buy from home or you buy yourself. My mother would take me to the market and go and buy second-hand shoes for me. And I come to school and I see a colleague, and I'll go home, and then when my mother will take me to the market to go and buy another shoe, I'm like, I will point to the one I like. But this is the one she can afford. So here's the thing. We don't care about the fact that this is hers and it's hers only. It's not mine. Why don't I have that? I want that as well. That is, in my opinion, the chaos is what we're trying to prevent. People don't see that. When we open cases where in private schools, perhaps they are better able to manage it within the private sector. But in the government sector, this is what we can manage in you cutting the hair. If you feel that you want to still braid, there's an option of the private school. There's notches to harmonize us, which is to sort of create a more homogeneous society. It is important that we
views or to I get the argument for the sameness and the oneness, but the thing is, life better than you. Somebody's dressed better than you. Somebody is wearing more expensive. That's life.
It is within that 3 years.
Well, three important.
Three
years
very
of
important.
your life.
Exactly. You don't want the kid to walk through the 3.
We're not sheltering them by saying, okay, we're creating this little bubble where everyone is equal, and then suddenly you're thrust into university, and you realize. I mean, I'm playing devil's advocate.
I totally
here.
get it, and
Yeah.
it's not black and white. It may seem that way, but it's not black and white. There are always underlying factors in between somewhere. School is your world.
Yeah.
And so what educationists are doing is, what can we do within this? They are in our care for the next 3 years. What can we do to control the variables? This is what we can do. Because you see, somebody's hair, see the psychological links to all some of these things. The way, you see, and in all the rules that you would read, all the educational acts that you will see, none of 100%. But in all of these rules where we are allowed to do literally everything that has been stated, aesthetics are not, because they try to eliminate them, because you know how aesthetics would directly influence a child's way of thinking, their self-esteem, want it. So why don't we all just get this? If we all have the same thing, you have the same thing, I have the same thing.
Let me say hello to Irene. Okay, Irene. Hi, Irene.
Hello, Animwaa.
Hi, it's so great to have you. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear
Hi,
me now?
there you are. Yes, we can hear you now. Thank you so much and welcome to the show. So I'm very interested to hear what you have to say. Where do you stand on this side of which side?
Go for we striking a balance. Rules are rules. Rules tell us what we have to do. That makes the school orderly. It helps us to really, as our code gets said, integrate. But then, how best can we do it in such a way that both the teaching and learning will not be or will not suffer? Is there a way the parents can also come out and say, well, if we level our system from the chief said, let's call a national dialogue and see how best we can integrate these people into the school system, the public school system.
Well, thank you very much, for that. Your line, our phone lines fail us when the weather is not great. Neela, let me come to you. I hope you can hear me. What's your position?
I would side with not to cut.
Yeah.
I know, much as rules. Rules are good. Example, in Uganda, actually 90% of schools, it's a rule that girls have to cut their hair. The rule that requires girls to cut off their hair was actually introduced, and here black girls were made to cut off their hair because, but what baffles me is that foreigners, here I'm talking about non-black students, whatever size that they want, and the reason is apparently their culture. When you look at the dynamics of this whole thing, it was just put up like, in my opinion, it was brought up by the whites, feel not good about their blackness. Because when you look, if we're going to have girls cutting off their hair, the rule should apply to both that rule.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And I mean, if
what
we're
think.
going to talk about that in terms of integration, then here in Ghana, for example, we have seen the stories of the fact that, there were a few Caucasians who didn't have to cut her hair. Because apparently if she cut it, it would either be spiky or it would be curly. In terms of that, it shows that there's definitely a certain divide, because we're willing to bend the rules for some people. So do we cut their hair? And then, I mean, based on what Neela said as well about this origin, that it came from the colonial time, promote kinky hair, keeping your hair keeping the African woman's hair as it come out, and then we're promoting. And I've asked, Hilary, I've asked this question to so many people this week. I haven't got where did it come from, and who made that decision, and what was, because I hear people defend, well, here, like in Uganda, like Neela said, that, it was the colonial masters who decided that this is something we should do.
To myself that if you were to pose a question to me on here, I'll tell you that I wish I had the answer for you in terms of the fact, because but back in the day, you see, we didn't think about it. When we were kids, we didn't worry about it. We didn't even care that the Caucasian had to keep their hair.
No, we did. You're asking, why.
I do not have the answer to why. Perhaps she can throw more light on that. What I need us to focus on, and again, I'm coming back to my point. It is beneficial. It is
beneficial to my education.
You'll be amazed that it is. It's not the length of your hair. It's in keeping with everybody.
Trying to be authentic and be unique and accepting that we're different. So it seems like different. So where is the? I don't know if you're getting.
You see, we
hammered on.
Yep, I agree.
The oneness and the sameness.
Yep, so. But I'm trying to give you where the diversity comes in. We have to affect the learning process.
Does it?
It does.
How?
It does, psychologically.
How?
It does, because when it's all online, and it's from the Bonneville Academy, and this is about dress code, general dress code. And it says that this is
Bonneville
attire, what they wear. It says it allows students to concentrate on school activities. It makes it simpler and easy to get ready for school every day.
We don't disagree. I need us to really just center the conversation, because we don't disagree with dress code. In the UK, they don't cut the hair.
They don't cut the hair.
World, they don't.
But it's part of the conduct.
No,
the
but
general
hair is not your hair. It's not the
it's
fact
in keeping.
That it's a rule or it's in keeping. It's the why.
We've just explained this. I don't know why it's hard for you to understand that you keeping your hair, because again, why would that our colonial masters thought that we were the hair wasn't beautiful,
ugly, yes.
was ugly. I dare you that if we allowed
I had to cut. I'm very passionate about it, because I had to cut my daughter's hair because she went to a new school, and my friend said the shape of my head is this. My friend said, so as for the criticism, whether it's short hair, long hair,
if we are allowed to braid our hair, I'm going to say something. It might not be so with easy hair to keep. I keep natural, so I know what I'm talking about. All the natural lovers know it. It's not easy to keep it. You would want her to cut her hair. At some point, you'd be so frustrated you want the hair to be cut. And education is combing your hair, getting ready for school. You'll be amazed. You will be late for school. You get to school, your hair is unkept. Back in SS, when we were asked to cut our hair, you would even find that people were still doing hairstyles. And they'll cut the hair.
So next time,
absolutely. But you see, that's not the focus in school. Let's focus on education. We are here to learn.
You should be focusing on your career.
And our education is on here, and perhaps you can throw more light on it. We are pulling away from the core belief. We need to keep it all centered.
Do we have Irene on? Do we have you think about this whole uniformity thing? Renee, Neela, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you. Because you people have left me, and Hilaria is advocating. I'm about to be devoured in the studio. So Neela, I'm sure you've heard what Hilaria has said. And is that perhaps the problem with the African mindset? That we must be the same, we must take the easiest way out. We don't need...
Firstly, I'll disagree with what she said, that our natural black had to maintain. And my reason is, if the Caucasians are able to maintain their long hair, and it's okay for them to have to grow their hair, it's then like us Africans, the black girls, like what makes it hard for us to also keep our own? Like the same way that our Caucasian is able to maintain their hair. I'll still put this in context to the Ugandan situation. Here, the few schools that allow girls to have their hair grown, ponytail.
Okay.
And this has forced girls to have their hair straightened and treated.
Okay.
And to me, in my opinion, this is actually the origin. Their natural black hair their natural afro is not beautiful enough, so they have to keep up with this grooming that they have undertaken from a young age, and they have to keep up with over 2.4 billion US dollars of imported wigs and hair imports of over 2.4 billion US dollars of wigs and hair extensions. And
Yeah.
this actually says a lot. Like black women, we are not with that. I'll call it actually domestication. Yeah, we are domesticated from that young age, groomed to feel like our hair is not okay. So yeah, we have to keep up with that, and we that sort of hair from their countries. And also talking about the other effect that it has on grown-up girls, actually, it's the girls ganged up and striked because they were being forced to cut off their hair. So they wanted this policy to be removed. Their hair makes them feel ugly. Actually, even the Bible supports this. The Bible says that a woman's hair is their crown of lack of confidence and crushed self-esteem. So, yeah.
Wow,
Those are my
thank
thoughts
you.
on that.
Thank you for that. If there's a link between the way that we felt about our hair as adults and the fact that we had to cut. Hey.
Hello.
Okay. So I hope you caught you've opposing points, or she had an opposing view. What do you think?
All right, thank you. And then implement it in our schools, because if just your hair is not, the kids sit on her hair and it's not affect the teaching and learning, life goes on. I believe we had what the school expecting for the kids, and we must make sure we fit into the emerging times. If you allow our work not to wear their hair, parents may differ with my point of view, but the point is that we are making sure we the fair playing field for anybody. Let's make sure that both the Ghanaian child who is keeping the natural hair and then the other child.
If we believe in it enough, if we believe in it passionately enough, then maybe we should kids hair or not. And obviously, with every choice comes a responsibility. So
Exactly.
you know that if your child is keeping their hair, then it'll take up a chunk of time. I mean, I can imagine Saturday, if like you're in a senior high school and Saturday is wash day.
Forget
do all of that.
Saturday, weekday.
No, I mean, so wash day will be once a week. Because
Weekday.
they can't wash every day. You tie it up, or you put a band in it, or
Yeah, it's so nice how when we always spell it out so
or
easily.
some. It's not easy. I mean, I'm a parent. I would only assist sometimes during when she's washing it, but in the morning when she had her hair, she's going to. I think the point that Renee is making, the point that I'm making, is that it's not that it's easy. I don't think that it's easy. You know, it's about we're finding our way in the show to see where we sit.
Right. Absolutely agree.
Let's bring both sides to the
Yeah.
table, so that when we make the decision, we can actually say that, oh, this is why.
Was well informed. Everybody that matters within the educational sector, the parents.
Exactly. Everybody
Parents
must
should-
be engaged.
everybody.
That would be crazy. In senior high school, yeah, absolutely crazy. So,
Practicality.
I mean, just like I can
Stay where
imagine.
you are.
Anyway, let's take a few messages from. I'm sure you'd love to be part of this conversation. We'd love to hear from you. So let's do that. Let's take a few messages and then we'll be right back.
Behind the PC problem, in the sun problem, common light bulb stuff.
This no matter. I beg go Robert and Sons. Oh yeah, then my chip to him, I know correct.
Proper.
For over 25 years, Robert & Sons continues to provide specialist eye care for both adults and children. Look on Robert & Sons, seeing is believing.
And I just got a message that really made me sad, because it's a friend who's talking about how beautiful her daughter's hair is and salon. And my friend herself, who owned the salon, had to cut my daughter's hair. While she was cutting it, my daughter was. We have nice hair in our family, skipped hair.
Oh.
But she cried. And till today, in the midst of this whole conversation, we should really consider what it does to our daughters when we ask them to close us. So, but yeah, we don't really.
I think you need to explain. Yeah.
I can imagine explaining integration to my daughter, to any of these kids, and they'll ask you, but you are also trying to tell me on the show that girls to come and actually talk about
they're going
how
to tear us
feel
up.
about it.
There's
I
no
think we
kid
should.
that's going to say that they don't want it in school. There are rules. These rules are there for a reason. It's not black and white, like I said initially. It's painful, like, to cut it. And then she wants the braid again because her friend has it. It's nice. She sees it, she likes it. But the reality is still on the ground.
See, but I ask you again, Hilaria, this problem. Last 3 weeks, I had micro links. The next time you see me, I'll probably have removed this because I've seen somebody who has done some.
Thank you very much. If your child is even a day student, you probably have a leeway. But if you were a boarder, if you are in boarding school, time.
If you have time
You
to
do not
scrub gutters,
you do not
have time to do your
you
hair.
will not have it.
We're talking about
It's like
we don't mind the uniform.
dress.
We don't mind the
Come
the
on.
things that
Come
no.
on now.
I think okay, so
Come
I got
on now.
another text message and he said that the clothes, the things that are on the outside that give uniformity. But when it
Hair
comes to the
gives
things
uniformity too.
that school uniforms, shoes, belts can be uniform, but anything that's part of your body, your skin, your hair, why would we do that to our people? 0302 216 541. 0302 216 541. Call for bringing us Strong and Sassy. Give your eyes the best attention and care deserves. Whatever you need concerning your eyes, just pop into. You can also go to the website www.robertsandsonsoptical.com and on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Family, keep good oral hygiene. Brush properly day and night. Invite your family to brush with you. Brushing is better. How that went. Okay, so I have my first caller. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. You see, my sister in the studio said something from the beginning of her that unity, right? You see, I want to disagree a little bit because we are forced to go to church on Sunday. Look, the truth, that is the truth. Look, we can never be the same. We go to school and we pretend as if we are the same. The moment we because we go to school and we are only taught subjects. Meanwhile, when we step out there, life's reality is so different from what we are being taught in school. So where are we going? See, she made great points, and I understand everywhere she's coming from. This somebody will say, you can go and shave a certain hair, your friends will laugh at you. So you see somebody's nice hair shape, you want the same thing. So it's to make this thing, like the chief imam said, we need a national dialogue because sometimes I feel discrimination is a little in it.
Hi, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Linda.
Oh, hi, Linda. Okay, so what's on your mind?
Can you tell me, curious to know.
So she has 4C natural hair, but that's braided, presumably, and it's under, she's wearing a wig. It's a bob.
Maybe a Peruvian hair or one of those long, expensive, so-called human hair. Myself this question. Why do I have to be compelled to have my hair in a certain way? I have in the dryer. It takes me sometimes 2 days. I would have headache for 2 days. So I thought about that. Why do I have to put myself through that? Because naturally their hair is such that they don't need to stretch it. Why do we have to be compelled to perm our hair? Why can't we, including our boys, have to be allowed to have their hair the way it's meant to be?
Right. Okay, well, thank you very much, studio, and listen to their opinions. Can we open that message, please? It's the fourth one from the top. Yes. SOS School in Tema manages their students. SOS is boarding, and that's from Cooks in Labone. Well, hello to Cooks and the girls. Category B, Category C have neither. So choose one and let's live. Those who admire and push for their awards to go. Okay, let me take another one of your messages. That one was from Eunice. Eunice, thank you so much for tuning in. They don't want to add, okay, this is a little bit confusing. I can't really make types. I kept natural hair for 4 years before locking. It wasn't easy. The pressure you can be under just to keep your hair decent is not to keep the hair. Your argument
was part of it. It was integration at first.
Madam.
It will always be integration.
Madam with the voluminous.
Part of integration.
Please, when we finish, you take a picture. Do you want to just share your thoughts with us, and then we can close?
Yes, so thank you very much. And I so wish we call for that emerging challenges with all the positivities. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Irene. Thank you to Neela for joining us. Thank you so much for your Uganda, the position you have taken on the subject. I wasn't trying to take a position. I was trying to be neutral. We're tired of the imposition and lack of don't believe in.
You did not play the devil's advocate.
Anyway, thank you to Hilaria for joining us. Your first time on Strong and Sassy. I absolutely enjoyed you. Tune in.
My phone will be off then.
I see. This is Strong and Sassy. My name is Animwaa Anim Addo. A very big thank you to you guys who tune in and listen to us every Wednesday. We're grateful. We appreciate you. We love you. Let's do this again next week, Wednesday. For